Hi guys, welcome to this week's Canon news. Let's get right into what happened last week. Okay guys, so the first news story today is that there is apparently an R50V coming. There's going to be a running theme in this video of things being called V, and that being the replacement sort of terminology for a DSLR. They used to be the C's for camera, V is now video. So this is an R50 video camera. Now, looking at how they're describing it and being boxy, new body design, aps-c, I reckon, and being $1,500, I reckon that this is what we saw last week with the specs that could have been the R7 Mark II. Now, looking at this would be a very good candidate for those specs, of course. But obviously some people like here what they're saying is they don't think it's going to be there, but the video versions of the cameras have always been more expensive than the standard versions. Like for example, we got the 1DXC and R5C are all more money than the equivalent non-camera versions, because they have the camera version in there somewhere, but they also have all the camcorder-y video equipment-y stuff added in there too. So it wouldn't surprise me if these 24 megapixels, all that sort of stuff, 6K recording that we saw was in fact potentially for this R50V. It would definitely fit, in my opinion, more than the R7 Mark II, and we'll look at the R7 Mark II latest leak in a minute, because it tells you a bit more where they're aiming for with that camera in it. I think it's going to cost more than $1,500, that's for sure. So, but yeah, this is a new camera coming very soon from Canon, the R50V, which could be a very interesting little camera if it does come out with those specs that we leaked last week. The next story here is what the heck Canon files patent application for 28-105 f4 and a 24-35 f2 optical system using plastic lenses. Now, this is done, Canon explains, to reduce the weight of the zooms. So it could be an incredibly small, light, compact f2 24-35, which would be very interesting to see. But Canon has also said the problem with plastic lenses, they normally absorb moisture and therefore change shape, but Canon has found a way to get around with this issue. Obviously, it being a patent, it might happen, might not happen. I thought it was quite an interesting thing to see, because if they did potentially nail this sort of system, it could potentially bring the prices down of some very good optical lenses for the entry-level market, and sort of open the door a little bit more for more interesting apertures and interesting zoom lenses to come out from Canon at more affordable pricing for people just getting into photography. So interesting step forward. It might never happen, but something new from Canon there. And finally, the big news story this week is Canon may announce the R7V, which is the video version, and the R7 Mark II somewhen in 2025. Here's the title of the story here. So they are expecting them to be launched the second half of the year, which would, in my opinion, make sense, because I reckon the R6 Mark III will come out first. But they're also saying the R7 should go back to the roots of the 70 series, which was a baby version of the 1DX line or 1D line at the time, just with a crop sensor. And if that's true, that would make the R7 Mark II an incredibly interesting concept, and something really to finally look forward to, like the R7 was originally. For me personally, the R7 was a massive disappointment from where they promised it was going to be and what they were saying it's going to be, making it sound like it was going to be a follow-up from the 7 series, obviously being an R7, but it really wasn't. It was more a line-up replacement from the 90D. Now, if they can go back to the roots of the 7 series and go back to the 1D, the R1, R3 equivalent in a smaller compact body with a grip, hopefully, and with a crop sensor, we are going to be looking at a very, very nice camera that I will be very much looking forward to getting my hands on when it comes out. Now, there's also going to be a V version. They obviously did announce originally there was going to be an R7C in the rumours sort of side of things, but that never really materialised. I don't think it was really needed. I don't think an R7 camcorder camera video version is needed even still. If you had the R50, then for sort of amateurs wanting to make a proper video camera, and then you have the R5C, then I think that's more than plenty in this sort of lineup. Then people would naturally go to the actual Cine line. But let's see if that variant comes through. But the R7 Mark II, I can for sure guarantee we'll see that the second half of this year. But I think we will still see the R6 Mark III first. So, what do you think of this week's news? Do you think that maybe those elite specifications were potentially to do with the R50V? Or do you still think that those were still could be what comes out on the R7 Mark II? Let me know down below what you want to see from the R7 Mark II, because it is a camera that is very much everyone's wanting to see what it is, and is it going to be better than what we got from the Mark I? So let me know down below what you think of this week's news, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks as always for watching, and goodbye.